y'all don't get it. Like, it's grief in having people that don't understand like what you're going through. And because I carry things well, I think that sometimes people don't see me as sick sometimes. Like, they just still see me the same way.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's the word, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today, man, we got a special guest in the building. You're originally born in Memphis, raised in Kentucky, made
Yeah.
a home in Chicago.
Yes.
Man, you worked with some amazing artists. You worked with Lupe Fiasco on not his most recent EP no more, but one of the more recent EPs. You worked with multi-platinum producer, one of the homies, Gold Haze.
Love him. Love him down.
Currently working on your third project with him. Introduce yourself.
I'm Jazz, but really my artist name is Luv. Luv Moore. Yes. This is actually my 10-year anniversary.
10 years?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, in Chicago.
Yeah. In August 5th.
How you feel making a home in a brand new city?
I love it. I feel like Kentucky was just not I love Kentucky. Like, I love the people that I love there. And but it wasn't for me. You know, when a place just isn't for you, like, you're just not growing there. You can't really like be as expressive as you want. I feel like it kind of was a little bit small-minded in some ways. So I feel a lot more like at home in Chicago.
How so? Why do you refer to it as small-minded?
I feel like Louisville is like a big city in Kentucky. But I feel like it has a small city mentality. So like I feel like if one person is like big or is making it, like a lot of people withhold or they can only focus on like just one person. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Who is from there? I know Bryson's from out there.
Bryson, Jack Harlow.
So were you out there when the whole Bryson thing was happening?
Yeah, and Jack. I was really closer with the ones that was like with Jack Harlow and stuff. But yeah, one of the producers for Jack is my producer. Well, he was my producer. Well, I mean, if I want to be, that can be. But he produced a song for me on my last album. So like, he's cool.
So what did it look like running in those circles around the time that all of their success was happening?
Oh, damn. Around that time, I was actually pregnant. So I feel like I was going through so much around that time that I couldn't really like be in it the way that I wanted to. Like, I was pregnant, I had just lost a baby. My mama left my dad. My uncle died. I moved back from Chicago to Louisville for a minute. So I feel like I was just, and then COVID happened. So I was just like in a
Damn, life threw all those hands at you.
2019 beat my ass.
Which
like,
one got
deadass.
harder hands, 2025 or 2019?
2019 beat my ass. I feel like for the next like 5 or 6 years, I feel like I'm just now like catching my breath again.
But 2025 completely changed your life.
It did. The last 7 years have just been a whirlwind, to be honest.
And we're going to touch on all of that. Man,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to it early, but before we touch on all that,
Okay.
you know, to let the people know, like I said, you worked with a legend in Chicago in Lupe Fiasco. How did this connection come about?
I was friends with this, I'm still friends with her, but this girl named KD. They're over at F&F Studios, which is like kind of out west. They own the studios. She is his niece, and she manages him. And around that time, I just had dreams of being in a studio. So I was just around with one of my friends that worked at Nike. I used to work at Nike. So I was just around, and I was her friend. We got real close, and she used to do my nails. Like, that's how we kind of got close. She wanted to learn how to do nails, and so I was her hand model. I don't think I got really close with them on the music, like producing side, until I moved back from Kentucky. So the second time that I moved back from Kentucky back to Chicago, I was like, I'm going to actually like pursue music. I'm going to take it serious. I'm going to, you know, like give myself the shot that like I feel like I didn't give when I first was living there. And I met Soundtrack, who is Lupe's producer. Like he came up with him basically. And Soundtrack hit me up when I moved back and was like, come to the studio. And he took me under his wing. And he would like drive from the suburbs to the north side, to the west side, to take me to the studio. He got me a computer, put Ableton on it. And that's kind of how I got close with that situation. And then I guess like as the years went on, I just got closer with them. Cause Soundtrack like produced a few of my songs. And then was it last year? It was last year or 2020. It was last year.
I think it was
It
last
had to be
year.
last year. Because I released it last year, but I'm trying to remember when I recorded it. I think I recorded it in 2024 in December or something like that. But I was in the studio one day and Chill, the man that owns the entire studio, the big dog, he was like, we need you for a hook. And I was just in the studio one day and I was like,
Come here real quick.
yeah, no, literally, I was just in there, like, just chilling. He was like, you want to do a hook for Lupe? And I was like, yeah.
Sometimes opportunities just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, dude, they really do just, like, fall in your lap if you just are open to that, I feel like.
You're not a stranger to collaboration. Like I mentioned, you worked with an amazing artist in Gold Haze.
Yes.
His project, Your Pain Is Mine, you're featured on what, 3, 4 tracks?
Like 5.
5 tracks? Oh, shit. Oh, gosh. In what ways has he helped you grow as both an artist and a person?
Haze has actually seen like every single like phase since I've been here, since I met him. I think I met him in 2022. I was introduced to him by Lajay because me and Lajay were really close and she was working on a project. He was there. That's how we met. And Haze is probably, I'm not gonna lie, probably the best man that I've ever met in my life. Like, I just love him. Like, I've never experienced somebody that is like just super excited for life and that is always positive. You know what I mean? And not like in a corny way, but like he's just always just genuinely like positive. He's supportive. Never felt no weird vibes around him. Like he's just, you meet somebody and like everybody got something good to say about him. Like that's just kind of how he is. And I feel like he really like, he speaks a lot of life into me because once you like really like continue to get to know me, you know, I be going through it. So like it's nice to have somebody that like I can cry to. I can show up at the studio looking crazy and he'll pull up and just like hug me or like we could just talk about it or he'll immediately call me or like pull up if I need to. And I don't know, like I feel like I've dealt with a lot of terrible men in my life, just being raised and being around, you know. So like to have a friend that's genuine and like that shows you like a different version of like a guy is like amazing. So I feel like in that way, like he just has changed my perspective on like how guys are. And then also like he believes in me so bad that like I don't have no choice but to like believe in myself. Like if I ever doubt myself, I'm never gonna doubt myself around him. Like he's just gonna be like, no, like I got you, we got this.
I don't want to ignore all the good things you said about him, but what immediately popped into my brain was the fact that the question of, do you feel like your idea of what a man was completely broken prior to meeting him?
Not completely. Only because when I first moved here, I had 2 best friends that are still my really good best friends. And there were 2 guys. And that was the first, I feel like, introduction to like men that are being your friend, like not any like romantic or sexual way, like just somebody that cares for you, that's treating you like a human being. Like I don't have to ask for them to pick me up or take me or make sure I'm safe or you know what I mean? So I feel like that was kind of my little sprinkle. And then I was like, but they were from Kentucky. So it was kind of like, all right. But here, Chicago is just so wild. Like I feel like it's so much different than being in the South. So like, I mean, in a way, but I don't know. I feel like he is one of the first people though that I feel like I have been like, okay, guys are cool. Not saying like that I just hate men, because I don't, but like, you know, you've been through shit and like you don't know who to trust or how to like allow people to like take care of you or like even just be in your life. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. So kind of, yeah.
Where do you think that hit stemmed from? Where did that start?
Childhood. My dad was abusive. So yeah. Yeah. He was huh, he was just he was bad. He was bad to me. Um the most, I think, out of all of my siblings. I'm the oldest, so I feel like it kind of came with the oldest starter thing. And then my mom, um, he was terrible to her. Like terrible. Um, and I just had this thought the other day, like, I wish that growing up I didn't spend so much time with my mom. Like we would be in the car like praying for my dad's heart to be softened, or praying that like we would just have a good day, or like praying that he wouldn't like blow up at nobody or anything, when like she should have been praying for a plan to get the fuck up out of there. Like so you learn this like behavior of like, oh, you can just pray it out of a man, or you can stick beside him and like maybe one day he will change, and you don't have to work through that shit. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things you don't have to work through. And I wish that I would have learned that, because I feel like it directly affected all of the relationships that I had after, like when I grew up, you know what I mean? Just the things I accepted, the things I seen, the view of men that I had, like, but my parents, I feel like my mom tried her best. And I feel like my dad, I can't say he tried his best, but I can say that he was a product of his environment. You know what I mean? Like he grew up in not great environments and his mom didn't treat him well. So it's a cycle.
What did that direct impact look like on you then when it came to your relationships?
With men, I was always like chasing relationships that I feel like I had to perform for. Like, I feel like as a woman, like we all already do a lot of performing, wearing makeup, wearing outfits, doing cooking, cleaning shit, whatever. But like, I feel like I was in a lot of relationships with emotionally like unavailable men, or like men that I feel like I had to like beg to be nice to me, or men that were like snappy, or a lot of men that reminded me of my dad. Like, so I found myself constantly in relationships where I feel like I was begging, and like I'm not a begging ass bitch, but like I feel like I was like begging to be like loved and accepted, and like you can date people that just like you. You know, I didn't know that. I thought it was normal to like date mean men. Like men aren't mean. Like not all of them, not all y'all. Like it's some good ones.
It's because you search for a love that is familiar, right? Your idea of what love was supposed to look like growing up was one that wasn't healthy. For a lack of a better term, it was an abusive, and to put those two together, abusive love is a
Yeah,
crazy phrase,
it
but
is.
it is the love that you experience. It's the love that you only knew growing up.
Yeah, it is.
And when that's something that becomes your everyday norm, when that's something that feels familiar, it's easy to accept that from everybody, right? I think that I call my shit toxic. I fell into a lot of toxic cycles where it was a lot of back and forth situationship shit where it was never like, oh, that was really fucked up. It was just like, damn, you kind of did me dirty and I'm gonna take it back. But that's because the cycle felt so familiar. And there's points where you become the person that plays the other role. Everybody always has this tendency to fuck. There's a handful of songs, right? I think about Givion's Scarred.
Yeah.
Giveon says, "You're under me, but I'm not over all the things I told you. Girl, I'm broken. Numb to all your emotion. My last love was cold, so now I gotta be the coldest." And it's like you experienced this love that you thought was supposed to be perfect for you. They made you believe, like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And then out of nowhere, sometimes the switch up is crazy.
The switch up is crazy.
And you're like, damn, I didn't realize that you would do me like that.
It made me very hypervigilant and very much like I'm going to leave before I'm left. So like I'm so soft, but I feel like because of the life that I've had to live, I feel like I also like swing back, like not like physically, but like if somebody like hurts me, I'm going to try to hurt you back. Like if you make me cry, I have to make you cry back. Like, and it's just like, it gets to that point to where like that's not fun. Like that adrenaline, that like up and down of like being in a stressful situation. And now with the things that I've going on in my life, like that's not a sustainable relationship for me. So now I have to like, when it comes to dating and like meeting new people and like starting to like put myself out there, which I'm finally starting to put myself out there again after like a year and a half. But like now I'm like having to like change what I'm attracted to. And that has happened with like therapy and healing and growth. And those things are no longer like attractive to me.
Do you think that what you're actually attracted to changes for real though?
Yeah, because I think for a while, I think I was attracted to that. Like I feel like I like the push and pull dynamic, or at least it felt so familiar that it was just like, all right. And then I liked being chased in like the toxic way, like like a guy hurts my feelings, we break up, I block you, and you have to
Write me a note. Write me a letter.
I promise you, like
Hit you with the email.
I used to love that shit. Like making fake numbers, pulling up at my house, crying, screaming, yelling, like I want you back. Like that made me feel loved. But that's not love. Like a person that loves you wouldn't take it that far. You know what I mean?
Did you love them though? Did you love them because you were also playing into that same factor, right? Because like you said, a person that loves you wouldn't take it that far. You took it that far too.
If I'm giving you all of this love and I'm caring for you and you're shitting on me constantly, you know what I mean? It gets to a point to where like I can only like turn my cheek a couple times before, bitch. I got to get my lick back. But like, what is that?
What is what?
Having to do that. Like, that's not fun. It's so exhausting.
I don't play the game no more because I remember, I tell the homie all the time. He's like, "Oh, why don't you just do this, this, and that?" I'm like, bro, like, this is not me no more. I'm not in the phase of my life anymore where I'm about taking advantage of somebody's feelings. And that's a lot of guys, right? I mean, that might be a lot of girls too. We know that somebody's so invested into us and we know that their feelings exceed the feelings that we have for them. And a lot of the times we accept that and we go along playing the relationship role because we want to feel that love. We want to remember how it feels to be wanted. And for me, I'm not in the point of let me go along with this fake relationship anymore because I know that somebody's invested and I know that their feelings are going to get hurt. And I'm like, yeah, like that doesn't do anything for me. I know it's fake. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to get hurt, but the other person's going to get hurt. And they're just going to have a bad idea of who I was. And I'm really not that bad of a person. You know how many people really think I'm a bad person out here? And it was like, I was never the bad person. In your eyes, I was the bad person because I allowed it to go so far. But out the gate, I let you know what it was. You're the one that decided to stay. But at 21, I took that as, oh, I let you know and you still decided to stay. That's your fault. At 26, I understand like maybe you can't differentiate the fact that I'm not going to be invested like you are. So instead of allowing you to become more invested inside of me and inside of this relationship, I'm going to keep you at a distance or completely cut it off because that's what's more fair to you. I don't know what's gonna be fair to me one day, but shit, I'm not trying to build up that karma no more.
No, you don't want to. That's not. But I work it out a lot with my therapist, right? So I think that my thing was I was looking for, like, I feel like I was dating a lot of men that reminded me of my dad because I was trying to fix my dad. Like, because I couldn't, like, make him softer growing up, I feel like I took these guys on as, like, projects to be like, well, I couldn't fix my dad, but, like, he kind of reminds me of my dad, and maybe I can fix him. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, you really can't. You can't control whether or not people are gonna love you. You can't accept, like, anything from anybody just to feel not lonely, because in turn you end up just feeling lonely with somebody, and that's way less fun. It's not fun at all, actually. It really sucks. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I've kind of learned to just let shit be what it is. If it's for me, I'll know. If it's not, then. But I'm really happy being single. Like, I genuinely, I'm having the time of my life. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know, bro. This single shit is boring. I'm bored. I'm not gonna lie.
You're bored.
I'm bored.
You're
I mean,
bored.
I'm
How long you
going
been
on.
single?
I think it's 2 years now.
2 years? Well, that's kind of a long time, I feel like, to be single. I've been single for 1.5 years.
You're right there.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I know. Like, sometimes I do, like, miss being in a relationship. Like I said, I recently started dating. So, like, it kind of gets fun. But I feel like I really appreciate and love, like, the freedom of not having to, like, answer to somebody.
I think a lot of the circumstances that hold us back from being in a relationship comes from the person that we're with, right? When you don't genuinely like that person and you don't have the interest that you should, you don't want to do that shit. You don't want to be locked in for real. Like, I was talking to somebody last year where it was pretty locked in. I'm not gonna lie. They ended up fucking me over bad. But that's besides the point, right? That's besides the point. But with that, it felt easy. Everything that was supposed to come with the relationship felt easy. Because I also know what you're talking about, where like all that relationship shit that you should like doing, but you're like, I really don't like you, so I don't want to do that shit. That's exactly where I'm at right now.
Because when you have been through things and you've gone through, like, a lot of shitty things, basic things that people do for you is the norm. Like, it's not normal for somebody to mistreat you. So, like, the things that, like, he does, like, for me, like, for example, I'm trying to think of, like, an example that's just so basic that just,
Like bringing you stuff when you're sick.
yeah, or, like, just taking care of me, or, like, not raising his voice, or being patient with me, or cooking for me, or, like, literally, like, basic things that I realized I was like, the bar was in hell for me. For a second, I feel like I was overly romanticizing the relationship because I was like, oh my God, like, I've never had this before. I've never had a guy like he cleans my house sometimes. Like, he helps me with my laundry. And, like, I was dating a guy who, like, previous to this, who I remember one time, I promise you, I was cooking for him. Okay. And that day that I was cooking, I kept almost, like, passing out. I don't know what was wrong with me that day. Well, now I know it was probably wrong. But back then I didn't know it was wrong. And I kept having to sit on the floor in the kitchen. And he was watching me. And he was like, hurry up and make this, hurry up and make this, like, rushing me. And, like, didn't care that I was about to fall out, to going from that to, like, dating somebody that's like, oh, I don't feel good today. Okay, sit down. I'll cook. You don't have to cook. I'll cook. Like, that is how I love. So, like, if I'm loving like that, like, of course, like, there's somebody else out there that also can love and care for me like that. So, like, these are like new things. And I got so sad the other day because I was like, damn, like I've really been mistreated in my life. And because grew up in that situation where somebody's just beating on you and calling you out your name. Like my dad was the first person to call me a bitch at 5. So like I'm used to niggas talking to me like crazy. And I accepted that because I thought that shit was normal. Like, that's not normal. Like, it's not normal. So like having somebody treat you like a normal human being, it's easy to like be like, oh my God, this guy, da, 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 da. And he is great. He's amazing. He's sweet. But like, that's how I should have been treated the whole time.
Do you feel like you have resent towards your dad because of what he made normal for you?
Now, no. But that's only because I blocked him for 3.5 years and we did not speak. And I kind of took my space. I blocked him and my grandma, I'm not gonna lie, because they both had me fucked up. Him, his mama.
I'm surprised you even talked to them. I'm not gonna lie. What the fuck?
Well, because he didn't go away. Like, he didn't go away. Like, my dad has money. He has money. So, like, not all of our siblings stopped talking to him when I stopped talking to him. I stopped talking to him. It was the year that I got pregnant and I had a miscarriage. And when I got pregnant, he was so embarrassed by me getting pregnant that like he cut me off, and like he was still with my mom at the time. So like my mom had to sneak and call me like when she was at work. He wouldn't let her call me. He was going off on her like it was her fault that I was pregnant. Mind you, I was 26, overly grown. But he was just like, he just thought I was the biggest slut because I was just like friends with the guy that I was pregnant with instead of like being with him and being married, even though. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. But like around that time, like I think I just got so mad that I was just like, I need this out of my life. And like when I stopped talking to him, all of my other siblings still talk to him. Like they went on a family vacation without me.
You got kicked out the fam.
I did. He said I could not go to that vacation because I got pregnant and then I lost my baby. And he called me. He didn't call me my whole pregnancy. And then when I had my miscarriage, he called me while I was sitting in the hospital and said, "Well, look at the bright side."
What's the bright side? You were able to come back.
The bright side was at least you're not having a baby.
What? He didn't even tell you could come back. He just said you're just not having a baby.
Yeah.
He fucked up.
And they still went on vacation a month later. So I don't know. Then my sister got pregnant the next year and he started a fund for my nephew.
What's wrong with that, man?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't never want to know. God bless him. Actually, everybody did actually kind of leave him alone for a while. Like, he was heartbroken when everybody left him because he didn't have nobody to control. He didn't have nobody to bully. His whole family left him. He couldn't do shit without my mama for real. So now he had to figure it out. He had to. So I think that, like, I feel like that changed him in a way. And I feel like he knows, like, that at any point in time, any of us would stop talking to him, you know? So he comes correct now. Like, he talked to me like he got some sense. And it's odd. Like, I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome. It's kind of what it is. Like, I love my dad. Like, it's a very weird like dynamic because I feel like for a long time I did hate him. I really did. But I feel like now after so many years it's like whatever. Like I don't think I have resentment, but I have triggers. You know, I've forgiven my father because I feel like it was holding me back for a while. But I do have triggers. Like if somebody does something or if noises are too loud or if I feel like I sometimes like tiptoe around my emotions. Like I have issues like accepting that I have emotions and taking up space and things like that. Cause when you get beat down so much, it's like you feel like anything is like annoying or you have to walk on eggshells and like I have to constantly remind myself at 33 that I don't have to walk on eggshells in a relationship or around friends or around people or in this life, you know, like I can be big.
The forgiveness is for you. The forgiveness allows you to move the way that you want to move. When you hold on to that and you internalize everything that had happened, it affects the way that you view yourself. I don't have that same dynamic with my parents at all. But I think about relationships that I was in where I was told that I wasn't enough. Man, she told me I wasn't a man. She told me that
Mm.
I wasn't enough, that I was never going to be enough. And I was 22. I knew at 22 I was not enough. I did not want to be enough. I did not want to be married and have a kid at 22. That was not my prerogative. That was not my prerogative, right? But everybody has their desires and their goals and what they believe their life needs to look like at certain points in time. When we're young, we romanticize this idea of having the white picket fence and the family and being engaged and married by 25, most people at least, right? That changed a lot for me. At 18, that's what I thought life was going to end up looking by 25. And then by 21, I started something that took up more time than I realized whatever it would take, right? When you start something artistic, when you start a business, when you start running in your fuck, I can't. And when you start running with your purpose, life has a way of just moving. And I didn't realize what it was going to take. The person that I was with when we were initially together, it was an on and off thing. When we were initially together, I had so much time to dedicate to that person because all I had was school. And even at that time, I was taking a semester off because I was supposed to go to California and then didn't leave. So then I couldn't even enroll for that semester here. So I had all this time. They go away for a year and a half. I start something else. All that time I had to dedicate somewhere went to this. So you come back, oh, you're fucked. Like there was no time. You know what I'm saying?
Timing is crazy.
I don't think it was timing. I really think that God had a purpose. God had a plan. And even when he brought that relationship back into my life, I think it was to show me that that wasn't the relationship for me. And I needed to learn to let go of things that didn't serve me anymore. I needed to learn to let go of things that even though I wanted them so bad and I wanted it to work as much as I did, that it really isn't my plan. And it wasn't in the cards because now I look at that relationship and I'm like, damn, like we really were like two completely different people. We wanted two completely different things and I couldn't see that. I literally was so blind. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the plan. Like, I got this all worked out. Like, calm down. Like, it's going to be good in the end. It's going to be good in the end. And my version of perfect wasn't that person's version of perfect. And their version of perfect wasn't my version of perfect. But throughout that, there was no need to like make me question who I was. There was no need to make me view myself as this terrible person. Because by the end of that, I had this damaged view of myself so bad that I I don't even know if I could accept love. I couldn't even accept love. That's how damaged my view of myself was because whenever somebody would try, I'd be like, why do you even like me? Like, why are you here right now? Because I'm probably not even good to you. So why are you here right now? And shit, it took a while to fix that.
You think you fixed now?
You get to a point where it's like, nobody's going to fix you but you.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Sit here and let everything that hurt me continue to affect the way that I live my day-to-day life. The shit that happened to me at 23, I'm going to let it fuck me up at 25, 26.
At some point, you really just gotta like move forward and just kind of. I feel like you get to a point to where you have to accept things like forgiveness is for you, but also you have to forgive yourself in a lot of ways too. You know what I mean? Like, cause I feel like it's really easy to be like, oh, this person did me bad, this person did me bad, this person did me bad. But like I was thinking and I was like being like really like, you know what I mean? Like when you're trying to heal, like you really have to like ask yourself the hard questions. And like one thing I realized is that like I didn't love myself enough. No, like nearly enough. Like there's no way that the version of me today would have accepted things that were happening 2 years ago to me. I believe, you know, because the things that were happening were egregious. And I stayed. I stayed all because I wanted to feel like I was loved, or I feel like I was chosen, or feel like I could get married one day and have kids one day. And it's like, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And I didn't have faith that like something better would come, or faith that like I deserved something better. Now I'm like cool with being by myself. I'm okay with being alone. I'm okay if I don't meet somebody that, if I don't get married one day, if I don't have kids one day. I feel like I'm at the stage of my life where I'm just accepting a lot of things that I never thought that I would accept.
So at what point did you realize you needed to fix you instead of fixing others?
Last year when I was sitting in the hospital. You get your ass in the hospital, you're like, oh, I let this go too far. It's just like it gets to that point to where you're just like, damn, like I have spent so much of my life like taking care of other people. I spent so much of my life saying yes to things where I wanted to say no. I spent so much of my life playing like background characters, or allowing people, friendships, relationships, people just in general, just to walk over me, to take advantage of me, to not value what I bring to relationships. And that shit, I really think put me in the hospital. Like, I'm not kidding. So it's just like, it changed my whole entire just life and outlook, I feel like, you know?
So what part of love was broken that you never even realized?
I think my voice, I didn't have a voice. I wasn't speaking up. I had a bad habit of allowing things to happen and I wouldn't speak on it. And I would just hold it. Um, and that was on all areas of my life. Somebody would need help, but I could barely get out of bed, but I still would go help because I felt like that's where my value was. I felt like my value was in doing for people or helping people. Like I had to earn love. You know what I mean? You don't have to earn to be loved. You could just be loved. And I think once I got in the hospital, I realized I don't have nothing to offer to anybody right now. Like, I need the help. And you get in the hospital and then you just watch how people move at that point. You know what I mean? People that you may have showed up for how do they show up for you? Are you okay with this? Do you like this? Are you willing to continue relationships with people that really aren't caring for you in the same way that maybe you feel like you care for them? You know what I mean? When I got sick, I feel like I couldn't ignore that anymore. Like I needed help. I needed a lot of help. I needed consideration. I needed support, and I wasn't in a space in my life where I could return that right now. All I could return from support was a thank you and an appreciation and a, you know what I mean? But I feel like for so long, I felt like you had to earn love because that's how it always was. Had to earn respect, had to earn love, had to earn shit, basic decency from, you know what I mean? So you really think that like those two correlate and they don't. And that blew my mind. That blew my mind, especially meeting people and friends that did show up for me. Like I have friends now where like if they come over to my house, they'll just wash my dishes or clean something up or tell me to sit down. Like what are you doing? Just sit for a second. I'm not used to that. I didn't realize that I wasn't used to that. And it just be blowing my mind. Like, oh, you people you really love me.
You finally understood what real life was supposed to be and what it was supposed to look like.
In all aspects, I feel like.
You know, you've dealt with what you deal with, but you also deal with this industry. You deal with a lot of people who only love you for what you are and not who you are. Like, if I were to be disappearing tomorrow, how many people do you think would hit me up? Say I disappeared for 2 weeks off social media.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be like, where the fuck did Sad Boy go? Where the fuck is Matt? You know what I'm saying? And 2 weeks isn't a long time, but I've posted every single day for 5 years. If I don't post for 2 weeks, somebody got to notice I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? You would think. But realistically, ain't nobody gonna reach out. Ain't nobody gonna be like, oh, like, what's up with you? And I realized that a long time ago that, shit, maybe I should start charging actually now that I realize it. But I'm just a service to people.
Yeah.
I am literally just something that people realize they can use.
Yeah.
And it might get them somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now that I really think about it, and this isn't a shot at you, but like, I don't need people. Like, I don't. Like, I built something and I've been able to carry it, and I've really like done it because I like having these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather sit down here with you and talk about this shit for fucking 3 hours than sit with a rapper that don't know what the fuck I do and it be a little 30-minute conversation. Because at the end of the day, like, I know you value this conversation as much as I do, and there doesn't need to be money exchanged. But if people want to fucking treat me as a service, like, fuck it, pay me. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. Yeah, I don't know. This just, we think that we can earn and buy people's love by doing something that they admire, by doing something that they need.
Yeah.
And in reality, like, love needs to be genuine.
It does. And you know what? I also learned, like, that helps you also learn to give from a genuine place. Like, when you kind of break that down and you start doing things to try to like earn people's love or respect or whatever, but you end up resentful because you feel like, oh, I've given all of this and this person still isn't loving me. The harsh reality that I had to learn is that they don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, just because I feel like I've gone above and beyond, I deserve this love. At the end of the day, like, you don't have to. People don't have to give to you. People don't have to. It's nice when they do, you know? And I feel like when you do give from a pure heart, or you give without the expectation of anything in return, it keeps you like more grounded. You know what I mean? And I feel like it makes more space for more reciprocal relationships to happen, because now you're not like, oh, I showed up in this area and this area and this area. Like, no, you just showed up because you cared. And there's no love lost when you give from like a heart like that. You know what I mean? I feel like I also just kind of had to learn, like, that helped me learn how to say no. Like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I have the capacity to give? Am I doing this because I just want to give? Am I doing this just because it feels right? Or am I doing this because I feel like I'm going to need something in the future? Or am I doing this because I want this person to see that I love them? Or am I doing this because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it just kind of really, like, it's another thing that kind of just like blew my mind. And like, give from a place where like it just feels right, like, because you want to. Then you're not thinking about like transaction.
The other thing about love is it plagues us with grief. Because when that love's not there anymore, when the thing that we loved is gone, or we lost it, there's only one place that usually goes, and that's to grief. You've dealt with a lot of fucking grief.
I have.
Due to
I
love.
feel like I'm still grieving, to be honest. I get so sad because I feel like I was always like, I'm a very extroverted girl. Like I like to go out, I like to drink, I like to party, I like to be in people's face. I like to have fun. I like to be friendly. So when you go from being like outgoing, outwardly person, kind of doing your own thing, to you have to choose to not go somewhere, not because you don't want to, not because you don't feel like it, not because you don't like the vibe, because your body said, no, you can't do that. And you have to listen. I be so fucking sad. Like last summer was the worst. This summer is a little better because I'm not really in the hospital like I was. But last summer, oh my God. Watching people like just go out and like have fun, like your whole friend group just out having fun, dancing, partying, you sitting in the hospital and you're just like lonely. Like, and that carries on into like this year. Even with like school, last semester, I feel like I'm constantly having to learn how to like accept that like I gotta sit down. Even with school, there's no reason that I should have went to my fall semester last semester. But I was like, no, I'm gonna still try. I'm gonna still take 5 classes, even though I was just diagnosed with a chronic illness and have to get surgery in the middle of my semester. That's fine. I had to drop every single class in my semester because I didn't listen to myself.
Damn.
I feel like I'm grieving my old life. Like sometimes I miss it. I miss the people I used to be around. I feel like I've lost like friendships that I thought that I would have had like forever. And it's heartbreaking. I feel like I had to I lost the relationship, which I should have lost. You know what I mean? I was freed from the relationship really. But I was still heartbroken. I was heartbroken from this disease, heartbroken from everything just changing and shifting, heartbroken from relationships and friendships changing and shifting in different ways, grieving just being lonely sometimes, people not understanding what you're going through, like it, because people try to help and they be saying things that just don't help, you know, like, oh, all you gotta do is XYZ and then you'll be fine. Or I know somebody with lupus and they died. Or I know somebody with lupus and they're cured. And like, it's just like, fuck. Like you just, and you got to be graceful. Like I'm just a graceful person. Like I try to like not take things personally. You know what I mean? Like if I'm hurt, I'll just step away. If anything, I just step away and just kind of, because I do know and understand that people are human, and I feel like people just try to help in their own ways. But man, I just be like, y'all don't get it. Like it's grief in having people that don't understand like what you're going through. And because I carry things well, I think that sometimes people don't see me as sick sometimes. Like they just still see me the same way. Or they just don't see how serious it is or can be. So like it's just kind of like whatever, we don't gotta check on her. Or she's fine. Jazz got this. Like I always got this. But like sometimes I just be wanting somebody to just come in and just take care of me for like the rest of my life.
It's like anything with mental health, right? Most people aren't gonna understand what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll give you a perfect example, right? I struggle with, and it's not even diagnosed for real, but I'm fucked up. And dealing with OCD, like that's a real thing, and most people just think it's, oh, let me check this handle 5 times, let me wash my hands 10 times, and it's not that. And when people think that, like everybody will say, like, oh, I got OCD, right? But it's like some like, oh, I gotta make sure everything's perfect. Like, bro, like no, cause like I gotta walk back and forth 5 times to make sure that I feel right about something.
Yeah.
I don't like doing things 6 times because I think that's an evil ass number. Like it's some crazy ass stupid ass shit, but it's like the struggles that you go through with it, and most people will never understand it. And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like I read about that, bro. Like
Like,
it's an inconvenience in my life."
ugh, people, they don't get it. Like, and they don't have to get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice when people take the extra mile to try to learn about it or to try to like be there for you or like help you in certain ways. But like, I think the harsh reality of life for real is just people don't have to.
Sometimes I'd rather just ignore it than act like it's
I
there.
swear, sometimes, and I think that's my problem because sometimes I do. Like my friends, like I have certain friends that be like, Jazz, I hope you know that you are not a superhuman. You can take a break. You can rest. You don't have to do this. You can sit down, or like they'll be like, please sit down. Like I feel like I had a low key like a crazy run. Like after I was diagnosed, I was in school. I was doing shows. The week
You did the Lupe shit while you were sick, no?
it came out, but I had did that in like December. But the week after I got surgery, so my surgery was supposed to be like a outpatient, like go in, go out the same day. I woke up from the surgery. They told me I wasn't gonna be in pain when I woke up because I was being all the anesthesia. I woke up, I couldn't move. And I just got diagnosed with lupus. So lupus, anything stressful, the pain in your body is so crazy. Like it's not even it's kind of unreal. Like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, I almost passed out. So I had to get readmitted into the hospital. And I couldn't walk for like 3 days. But at the end of that week, I was on a boat doing a show. Why? Cuz I don't know how to sit down.
Where is it you find yourself mentally when you're going through all these things, right? Because you go through these abusive relationships, you go through having to grieve loss, you have to grieve the loss of your old life. And on top of that, you have to deal with being sick. How is it you get through all of this?
When I grew up, it was always something in my house. I was always in trouble. I was always getting yelled at. I was always getting beat on. I was always getting told I wasn't this, I wasn't that, I was weak, I was this. So I feel like it's just another thing that I feel like I have to deal with. And I still had to be an older sibling. I still had to make sure dinner was ready for everybody. I had to make sure all of my siblings did their homework. I did all their hair. I was ironing my parents' clothes, they clothes, getting everybody ready for school, going to choir practice, going to track practice, running in track meets, getting the kids ready for track meets. I was a coach. So like that is all I know how to do is shit. I don't know how to sit. And then I grew up with a mama who don't know how to sit down. So it's like that's just normalized, you know? So I think for me, because I've always had to go through something, even though like I've never gone through something like this before, I know what it's like to have to go through things and to have to adjust and to have to figure it out. So this is just another thing that I'm having to adjust to and figure out. But that gets so exhausting. You know what I mean? Like I really would in the next year, I would learn how to know what life feels like when you just
All right, peace.
yeah, like or you just don't like care like and I feel like I'm kind of getting to that point because my body, even if I get overly excited about something, I'll get sick. I can be happy because I did something and I have to control how excited I get because I could make myself sick. Or if I can't get too mad at nobody. Because if I get mad, then I get sick. I cried at the hospital, got sick. I can't even like fully like express the full range of my emotions. So like I'm getting to the point to where I just don't give a fuck. Cause I can't. But that's a very freeing place to be for me. As somebody that is overly emotional, I feel like I just be like, it is what it is. Like, this is crazy. But like a couple months ago, I get when my refund check, I pay my rent. And I didn't pay my comment because I just was just going through life and shit. My shit got turned off for like a week and I promise you I didn't care. I was just like I'm dead ass. It like went off in the middle of the day, and I said, "Oh shit, that's what I forgot to pay." And my friend was sitting in the house looking at me like, "Oh my god," and I was just like, "I just take me to my mama's house. I don't even care. I don't care." Like I was in that house. I promise you, with like little fake candles. It's just things like that. I just get to the point where I'm like, fuck it.
You think that's the depression?
Probably.
That sounds like that sounds more of a depression thing that like I'm just out here living type thing.
And I feel like Lupus kind of taught me that, like, your life can just stop at any fucking time. When I had to be in the hospital for 2-3 weeks at a time, there was not shit I could do about it. Like, life had to go on. And it showed me that if I don't do shit for 2 or 3 weeks, life just goes on. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I struggle with the depression of it all for sure. Because it sucks. It's as positive of a situation as I try to make it. It just fucking sucks for real. I wish I had parts of my old life back. I wish I appreciated parts of my old life that I don't feel like I did. Especially like just like working out and being active and moving around without pain. I don't think I realized how much I didn't take that for granted, or how much I took that for granted. You know what I mean? Like, you don't realize that until you like don't have it anymore, or you need help to do basic shit, or you're nauseous all the time, or you have to cancel plans last minute, and people don't understand that.
The last thing I want to talk about is something you mentioned a handful of times here. It's the thing that gave you your stage name.
Oh yes, love. In 2019, I was pregnant, and I was gonna name my baby Sarai Love Moore. And when I lost my baby, for like maybe like a year, it was very hard for me because the more you know about me, like I am, because I always like kind of took care of like people and things and whatever. I'm a nurturing person. I want to be a mom really bad. And that is one thing about this whole situation too that has just been hard because whatever. Anyways, and her name was gonna be Sarai Love Moore. When I lost her, I was like depressed for like a year, and I wanted a way to like honor her name, keep her alive. And I was just like, maybe I'll change my name. And I didn't know what I wanted to change it to originally. But I used to work at, oh my God, I used to work at this residential facility with these badass kids. And they have found my Instagram. And back when I had my old Instagram, I kind of was wilding a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was just like overly like sensual, sexy. Like, I posted what I want. I had OnlyFans at one point. Like, they found my Instagram. And so I ended up, long story short, having to change my Instagram name. And so I was like, Love More, like kind of fit. And I remember talking to, I think, Haze, and I feel like Flex or some shit. Like, I was talking to them one day, and I was like, I want to change my name to Love More. And I was like, you should. And I was like, I should. And it fit. I kind of went with it. So I changed my name from Jazz More to Love More. And it fits me, and I love it. Like, I love it.
How was it that love differed from any other love you had felt before, though? The one for the unborn child.
It's like nothing I've ever felt before in my life. It was so crazy because no matter what was going on, that is what kept me going. I feel like I was in a very like weird space when I did get pregnant. And so I feel like that baby, that situation like kind of reignited my like will to like want to be here, because I felt like I had something outside of myself, something greater than myself to live for. I didn't have a job when I first got pregnant, so like I immediately got a full-time job. I was taking walks, I was planning stuff. I was really excited. Despite my dad being the way he was, despite my mom not being able to be there, despite the guy that I was having the baby with not necessarily like, he was really supportive at first, helped me pick the name, and then went ghost. Like, so I was still like, this is mine. And when I lost that, it was just kind of like, what now? And I feel like, I don't know, like, it kind of forced me to kind of be like, okay, now that you lost this baby, what now? And I think I just went through another depression. But eventually, now, 7 years later, I feel like, and I promise you, it's taken all 7 years to accept this. Now I feel like maybe that is what I needed to like start different changes in my life. You know what I mean? Like that, maybe that baby's purpose wasn't to like be physically here. Maybe that baby's purpose was to like make me see like things that I don't think that I was seeing in myself. Like before I got pregnant, I was not pursuing music. I was scared. I was not confident in who I was. I could barely like, I went from like singing in like choirs and singing in talent shows and singing in school to like being very shy to sing at all. Like I remember standing on stage at like in like 2019, 2020, and I couldn't even like sing. I was scared. To now, like I love more. Like I love my voice. Like everybody has to hear it. You know what I mean? Like so I feel like that may be the role that was meant to play in my life. And I don't know, like I feel like at some point I will be blessed enough to, you know, have a baby. I think I'm gonna freeze my eggs. My mom brought that up the other day. She was like, "You wanna freeze your eggs?" And I was like, "Damn, I am at that age."
Everything has a purpose. Again, even though things don't work out the way that we always intend to, it's not our plan, it's God's plan. And I think this song fits even better now. Ed Sheeran's Small Bump. At the end, he says, "Because you were just a small bump unborn, for 4 months then torn from life. Maybe you were needed up there, but we're still unaware as why."
Yeah. I love that song.
We're unaware as to why these things happen. We're unaware as to why certain things go on in our lives. But there's always a plan and there's something that we got to trust. And that's all we can do, right? Because there's a purpose in what we go through. No matter how hard we want to fight it, you just got to brave the waters.
Getting to that point where you don't give a fuck kind of has to do with the depression, but I feel like it also equally has to do with just accepting that like you can only do so much. You can really only respond for real to like what happens to you. Like everything, like I have a choice every single day. Like when it's hard, I can sit in bed and I cry all day and that's valid. Or I can get up, push through, and that's valid. But sometimes pushing through is not valid. Sometimes crying all day is not valid. Sometimes, you know what I mean? But you really do have it. Life is just like a series of just choices that you have to be like, okay.
I just thought about it. It brought me back to the preaching they had like 2 weeks ago, where they said God never promised there wasn't going to be hardships. In fact, He told us there were going to be hardships, but to lead your life with Him and you'll be able to make it through.
That's all I can do. I've never been closer to God though, I will say.
I appreciate you chopping it up with me for X amount of time and shit. You got anything you want to plug real quick?
Well, I am coming out with an album in August. TBD. Yeah. So look out for that. Watch my video Bad if you haven't seen it. It's cute, it's fun, it's cutesy, it's whimsical.
Make sure you go ahead, check out Luv Moore. Make sure you go ahead, check out our music with the Gold Haze. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Sad Boys for real. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.